Jacqueline, thank you. An advocacy group from the Ministers' Conference of Winston-Salem and vicinity and representatives from the local NAACP chapter met with the mayor's office today. Those groups say they have concerns about how Winston-Salem went about hiring its new city manager. Joshua Davis joins us live from Trade Street tonight. And Joshua, what specifically did they discuss?
Kenny, since the city announced its new city manager in July, several groups have voiced their disappointment and disapproval over the selection process. It's an issue that they're hoping to begin to resolve, starting with today's meeting with the mayor. The NAACP and the Ministers' Conference of Winston-Salem and vicinity say there should be more community dialogue in the process of hiring the city manager. A major focus of the meeting was understanding how local leaders could work together to create and maintain transparency and diversity when hiring for top city positions. Much of the criticism stems from the selection of William Pate as city manager over the selection of assistant city manager Patrice Toney. The NAACP quoted Mayor Joines as saying she was ranked as one of the top candidates out of 30. The chapter president of the NAACP, Al Wadud Salam Jabbar, says Mayor Joines was receptive of feedback, and Mayor Joines says he wants to reiterate the city's commitment to promoting diversity and inclusion in its staff.
And he articulated that he received that and he's going to act upon that. But you know, as I know, it's never done until you see it. So right now we're in a waiting mode, waiting to see what happens.
Today we had a great dialogue. I explained our process that we had, I heard concerns, and I think we came up with some ideas of ways to better improve the process going forward.
Mayor Alan Joines says moving forward, the city plans to make sure the public is better informed about how people can provide that input when creating job qualifications for city positions. In Winston-Salem, I'm Joshua Davis for WXII 12 News.
Joshua, thank you. Police say they found two guns during a fight at Dudley High School's preseason football jamboree scrimmage event this past Friday night. Devontae McKenneth is in studio with the details for us. Devontae.
And Ken, we know that Greensboro police responded to Dudley High School for, again, that fight at a football team scrimmage. Dudley played host to 4 other schools that night. When officers arrived, they received reports of 2 people in the parking lot area carrying guns. Police say when officers approached the suspects, they were bending down beside a car. The officers detained the suspects and found 2 handguns underneath the vehicle. The juveniles were identified, charged, and then released back to their parents. Additional officers had to be called in to break up other fights at the stadium. We did reach out to the school district for comment, but we have yet to hear back. Kenny.
Devontae, thank you. A mother and father are facing charges tonight after their family was stranded on the Yadkin River last month. Megan Waters is charged with 1 count of felony child abuse and 1 count of misdemeanor child abuse. Harvey Wilkins is charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor child abuse in this case. The sheriff's office tells us the charges stem from a missing persons report, which was filed back on July 16th. Wilkins told deputies he wanted to report that his wife and their daughter were both missing. He said they got separated while they were rafting on a river during a storm and were stranded basically the whole night. Charges were filed last week and announced today. A Lexington man has been sentenced to 30 years in prison after being convicted of creating and possessing child pornography. The victims here are 4 and 6 years old. Zachary Gunter pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts of possession and production of child porn. In May of 2020, during an unrelated criminal investigation, officers found an image of child pornography in his home. They say they later determined that he created child sex abuse materials involving multiple minors. Somebody shot into 3 homes in Guilford County over the weekend. This happened on Glendale Drive in the town of Whitsett on Saturday. The sheriff's office confirms no one was struck by any bullets. Deputies are, however, still searching for suspects. A Thomasville man was killed in a crash in Columbus County last week. This happened on Highway 87 near John Regal Road Thursday afternoon. Troopers say a box truck slammed into the back of a stop tractor trailer on the highway. The driver of that box truck, Nicholas Fellers, was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Fellers' passenger, Gabriel McCurdy, died at the scene. The tractor trailer driver was not wounded. Fellers is now charged with misdemeanor death by vehicle and failure to reduce speed. Teams continue to search through Maui's charred ruins for missing people, but only 3% of the impacted area has been searched with cadaver dogs as of this point. The death toll is now at least 96 and will likely keep increasing. It is now the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history, surpassing the 2018 Camp Fire in California that killed 85 people. Hawaii's governor says the damage is estimated to be close to $6 billion. Aside from the death toll, the fire has left hundreds and hundreds of people homeless. Louis Tran caught up with the American Red Cross after it sent some local volunteers to help with recovery efforts there, and he joins us live from the American Red Cross in Winston-Salem. Louis, a massive cleanup effort there, and the need is extraordinary.
Yeah, good afternoon, Kenny. That's correct. The American Red Cross has sent about 6 volunteers from North Carolina to Hawaii to help with the aftermath, and 2 of them are from the Piedmont Triad. Leaders tell me that their main focus is to help the families and also give them hope.
The way of life has been altered forever by these tragic wildfires.
The massive wildfires in Hawaii have killed more than 90 people.
It's devastating. I can't imagine. This is a wildfire that just came out of nowhere.
Heather Frazee with the American Red Cross and many families impacted say it came out of nowhere. And about 250 volunteers are helping with the aftermath, including 6 from North Carolina, and 2 of them are from the Piedmont Triad. The wildfires are one of the biggest challenges these volunteers have ever faced. But to make matters worse, Frazee says they're facing another challenge.
We are approaching the peak of hurricane season and wildfire season. So really just having the resources, the people resources, to make sure that we are there 100%.
100% effort to help and give hope, as many families in Hawaii are left with nothing. No home. In Salem, I'm Louis Tran, WXII 12 News.
Louis, thank you. The Alamance County School Board will get together on Wednesday to talk about ongoing efforts to get mold out of its schools. Leaders still need to approve a contractor for work. Well, most Triad students will be back at school in a couple of weeks, but Mount Airy City students went back today. This is video of students being welcomed back by the staff at Mount Airy Middle this morning. We had the opportunity to speak with Superintendent Kim Morrison ahead of the first day of class. She tells us they do still have a few teacher openings. And when it comes to academics, the district has partnered with innovation project Spark NC, which aims to help get students into high-tech industries.
We want our students to be equipped with cybersecurity, AI, all of these things, such as machine learning. Some of our students have never heard of this before, and it's going to be 70% of the jobs in the next 10 years.
There are also 2 new programs to help with attendance. Leader in Me for K through 5th grade students teaches them how to set goals and have their own motivation. And for 6th through 12th grades, they have a program called Avid, which aims to help students think about their future and even visit college campuses while they do so. Guilford County Schools is also trying to fill some vacancies ahead of the start of the new school year. WXI 12's Chris Peterson is in Greensboro to tell us about their latest hiring event. Chris.
Recruiters for the Guilford County school system are calling this the Fall Hiring Blitz, and it's happening here at Smith High School in Greensboro. It shouldn't come as any surprise that qualified school bus drivers are a major need.
All year long, we are in need of being able to hire bus drivers.
Director of Recruitment for Guilford County Schools, Alan Hooker, says they are looking for 50 to 75 bus drivers for this upcoming school year. Part of the problem, according to Hooker, is that you can find someone who is willing, but they must meet the requirements to drive a bus set forth by the North Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles. Those requirements include a school bus driver training class, receiving a passing grade of at least 80% on 4 different CDL knowledge tests, and a behind-the-wheel training class.
And then the availability of the classes for individuals to get certified to drive buses don't meet the demand of the need.
Quite a speed bump when the need is so great. Hooker says they have several ways to find folks who already meet these requirements.
One of the greatest things that we can do is get our current employees to talk with their friends. The other thing is we use social media immensely. We also use geofencing with text messages.
Hooker says he's drawing on someone's desire to make an impact to fill the need.
There's enough people out there that want to do that for their community and for their citizens. It's our responsibility to find them.
Guilford County Schools is also looking to hire in other support staff areas, including HVAC technicians, cafeteria workers, and teacher assistants. Again, the event is happening here at Smith High School on Holden Road from 9 a.m. until noon. In Greensboro, I'm Chris Peterson, WXII 12 News.